Well, hip-hop lyrics are supposed to sound like the street, right? That's what makes them relatable for most hip-hop fans, and what makes them such an effective tool for teaching kids to value language and literacy.
Well, our next guest can speak directly to this with real authority, since he not only collaborates with the New York City Department of Education, but he writes lyrics and performs his own Afrofuturistic funk hop. And we're going to hear some of that in just a couple of minutes. But first, let's welcome the man, BD3, to BK Live.
Peace,
Welcome,
peace.
sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
All right.
Oh, man. 2015 hip-hop, how would you describe your music?
2015 hip-hop and my music. You guys said the phrase, Afrofuturistic funk hop. I'm definitely a amalgamation of my ancestors. So it goes from reggae to hip-hop to soul to funk to jazz. If you took Mos Def and you spliced his genes and you put it with Dennis Brown and Sun Ra, you probably get me.
All right, that's some good lineage. That's not a bad little hybrid you got going on.
Yeah.
So you are actually walking the walk in more than one way. You are having your music out there, but you're also influencing young people working in our schools.
Yes.
So how'd you blend those two sides of your brain?
Well, education and music, you can't coexist without the other. You know, you teach through music, and education can be within rhythmic form as well. You can strip a man or a woman of everything except their education. That's the only thing that you cannot take from them. So within music, music is my passion, but education is my sword in the wilderness. So they both coexist.
Okay, so how do you use hip-hop to sort of promote literacy?
Well, in the program that I piloted, what I do is that, I'll give you an example. So what we did is that we use rhythmic form to remember mathematical equations. So we'll do PEMDAS, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but we'll turn it into a rap, because you'll remember that in 2 minutes. The second time you hear a verse, you remember it.
Yeah.
We'll take, if we're doing English language arts, and we'll take Common, I Used to Love Her, and then talk about personification. We'll take a Tupac song and then talk about imagery because of the description and the depth of the lyrics. So hip-hop is an important cog in the mindset of the youth. And if you don't access that, then you're doing them a disservice. If you don't connect with them, then how can you teach them?
Do you have any sort of go-to lyricists that you like to use to...
Well, he already mentioned Tupac.
I definitely go to Common a lot. I'm starting to use Drake now, because you got to understand...
Kids in the Drake, the kids in the Drake.
You got to use Drake, you know, you got to use Drake, and as well as Drake is super dope when it comes into social media and then technology. And just the way...
He uses words.
Yes, yes.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so what has been the thing that has most invigorated you behind this process? You know, you're a lifelong hip-hop head and you're an educator, but as this process starts to take form, you know, what has been the reaction from the children, and how have you seen growth?
Yeah, you the cool teacher?
I am the cool teacher. I try not to let that get to my head a little bit. I'm an edutainer. You know, that's what KRS said, you know, knowledge reigns.
I'll let you bring that one up.
Nearly everyone, right. For me, when you see a student from 10 years ago and they just speak to you about certain situations that you don't even remember, you know. I had a student that was in a store buying baby clothes and just was like, man, I remember when you taught me such and such and such. Yeah. I'll never forget that. And because it's such a thankless job, you just go through the day-to-day. You don't even worry about it, and it's very hard to honor yourself in that job because you expect it from the outside. But when you get those, you know, when you get those looks and people speak to you about things that you did for them in the past, it just invigorates me more to continue my process.
You know, I want to ask you a question, but before I even get to that, you know, you're speaking about the rhythm and how that helps people to remember things. And, you know, I've always thought to myself, you know, a song comes on, it plays for the summer, and you know, a kid will remember that song for the next 15 years. Yet we go into the classroom and we learn something, and by the time you know, the test comes around on Friday, you know, kids are sort of falling apart. So what is the secret to having a rhythmic sort of, you know, background behind, you know, remembering things, and how can we continue to use this?
Well, I have a 10-month-old daughter, okay? As soon as she came out the womb, she was dancing.
There you go.
It's in our blood. It's nothing to think about. It's not an extra science to it. It's just within our blood. Now, the old brick and mortar way is the old brick and mortar way. We can't go that way anymore. We have to remember that we are creatures of dance, creatures of song, creatures of movement. You know, this is the universe's way to teach us, you know? So we have to keep to that. It's as natural can be.
Fair enough. Okay, can you tell us about the rites of passage?
Yes, rites of passage. So I call that ROP. The ROP program basically celebrates and facilitates the transition of a man and a woman into, you know, a young man and a young woman into womanhood. We do various things. So we talk about topics such as sex, we talk about finances, we talk about education, cultural awareness, how to debunk stereotypes and debunk gender roles. And the thing about it is that within other cultures, they keep their traditions. But when you speak about the African diaspora, we just forgot so much. So it's very important for us to instill that within the youth, because you need that. You know, you need that older brother, you need that older sister that's going to kind of give you the game.
Okay. All right.
So thank you for doing the work. You said it's a thankless job, but I'm sure those kids are remembering, like you said, the things that you just get caught up in the day. You're planting seeds, and they're coming to fruition every day, and you don't even know it.
Now, how do people find out about the program as well, or to get in contact with you? Or?
Well, you can get in contact with me, BD3 s4s@gmail.com. You can also get in contact with me through the Twitter and Instagram. I currently work in the Department of Education, so I'm with a school right now called Epic North, and it's under this umbrella of another network that does really radical things, real radical things. So you should look up that school in the education websites.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, enough of the hearing about music. We want to hear some of that music that your daughter is surely jamming to now coming out of the womb. So we're going to let you make your way over here.
All right. Well, live from BK Live Studios, this is BD3.
Ashe. Let's do it. Yeah. Look. Desperation maneuvers, trying to chase a reality that's fabricated, or compromise your whole style until it's faded. A wise man told me, don't be complacent, it's not becoming youngin'. Become your something and nothing becomes redundant. A thought-provoking rant, sparking the meekest fire, would tear the walls of Jericho down within an hour. They lay a flower on the rubble for the lessons rendered. The main contender, the race to never, running centipede blocks at a centipede speed for sense to try to eat. No sense to spite we, it never begets or rep. Now watch your step, cause only the repressed recedes back to recess, back to playing. I get back to saying mama gets back to praying, hoping times don't regress back to Reagan, but the clock was left there with Satan on his walls. We dwelling in his hell, heaven after all. The war of God was only sung by Billy Paul. Trumpets blast to claim the reign of BD3. The sky is now clear with the ill license to dream. Diligence, what a journey, got some road lessons. After every checkpoint, you seem to know better. Functions are given, depending on how the form's measured. I never followed guidelines, I wrote my own legend. Ratting passion before pleasure, you thought they was linked. Magnetizing the game from different sides of the ring. My insignia, indelible ink across of the Sphinx. Whether jewels or flawless cuts from the daughters of kings. There's a deep connection through creation, no mistaking. How to capture an epic within a painting. Every chapter's a brushstroke. Kihindi Wally stained glass visions the gusto. Well, if you must know the maturation of a man through heinous times, seeing the fruits of his labor plagued by parasites, or holding gourds full of nectar. Other hand is a scepter. Universal control holds when he closes eyes. Just a few on the journey when thoughts align. Keep your hate, it's irrelevant when it ain't mine. I wonder how the city's looking through my daughter's eyes. Ashe.
All right, BD3, and give it up for the djembe over there.